But moving into interest, I want to bring up cars.
Yeah.
You know, people get very seduced by cars at a young age. Get the girl, get the guy, you know, whatever it is, makes you look sexier than you actually are. Getting a nice car. And I know I've seen people drop north of 15 grand when they don't have it at all.
Yeah.
On car loans, not realizing how much they're actually paying in what we, you know, kind of just use the negative interest.
Yeah.
Or which is you're actually paying the bank money.
Yeah.
So explain to me, what are your thoughts on car loans at a young age and getting an expensive, not even expensive, but
yeah.
I think anything above 15 grand when you're still in high school, there's a lot of money on the car. You can
Correct.
get, I bought my car for 2.5 and it was great.
Oh, correct.
I still got it.
Yeah, cars are a beautiful thing. You ask anyone that's bought an expensive car, they'll tell you it's the biggest mistake. I can say that, and I think it's all well and good to say it when you've done it. You know, I wish I could wind the clock back and didn't buy my sports car, which is a 2-door convertible, you know, 350Z at the time, and spent, I don't know, $30,000-$40,000 on it. I think I needed to maybe to get out of my system.
Yeah.
And I think that's the hard part is you go, well, I don't want to deny my youth when I go, I can lash out and buy a nice car. You'll look back and tell your younger self that was a foolish mistake. You talk about spending $15,000. I've had mates that spent that on modifications or sound systems. And I say doing that to a car, it's a bit like pulling a piece of string because you'll just keep going and going. So you do the wheels and then you got to do the exhaust. You do the exhaust, you got to do the turbo. You just keep going. It's like you just have to keep out competing and out spending, right?
And it's funny because I was going to say this as well. Actually, I was going to say this, but the mod guys, you know, there's always those guys who are the car guys. I think it's not as bad for them because that's what their passion is. They're spending money on their passion.
Yeah.
They're always working on the car in the garage every weekend. And so I feel like if that's where they're spending their money versus me, I more prefer, you know, tech and stuff. So I spend my money on that. You know, girls might love spending money on outfits every single weekend and stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, the cars is an expensive habit.
Yeah.
But I see a lot of guys who get a shit box and then fix it up, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's more, I see people buy cars for 30 grand when they could do the same thing with a normal car.
Oh, correct. I get it. I think drive a safe car would be my. You know, I've got a very young baby, and I'm second she can get a car. I'm like, get a safe car. You don't need an expensive car when you're young.
Yeah.
Right. I think well, you're not going to go out and buy a property instead with that money, but that money can be saved up, right? And I think if you have that mentality to go, I can save this money, and I'm not gonna buy the expensive car. Yeah, your ego takes a dent, and you have to put that to the back and go, well, it's delayed gratification. Whereas that whole buy a car now type thing, get finance on it, that's instant gratification.
Yeah.
And I think that's the hard part because it's so easy as a young person to get a car loan.
Just go over there and you can just get a finance.
The bank will give you a car loan, mate. You just need a heartbeat and a couple of pay slips, even if you're casual, and you'll get a car loan.
Yeah. Because
you've actually got a car to show that you're buying for it as well.
They know there's going to milk an extra, I mean, as we were saying before,
high interest rate, like you'll pay 15% on a car loan sometimes.
And what does that mean? Like, let's say we get a $30,000 car.
Yeah.
What does that mean if you 15% interest rate?
Sure. So depending on the loan term, you might go 3 or 4, sometimes even 5 years on a car loan. Potentially the cost to borrow that $30,000 may actually be $40,000 that you've paid on the $30,000 that you borrowed, which is the principal, plus the interest on the life of the loan. So let's say the car, you've had that for 4 years, now you've paid $40,000.
Yeah.
Not to bamboozle anyone with numbers, but just kind of work this out. You bought the car for $30,000. Over the life of the loan, you've paid $40,000.
Yeah.
But the value of the car's come down to call it even 20 at
if
best.
You're lucky.
In 4 years, it might be worth half that.
Yeah.
So you paid $40,000 for a car that's worth 15. How is that even fiscally responsible?
Yeah.
It's madness.
Yeah.
Isn't it? But I think the hard part for us is we're rewiring everyone because that's what our parents did. That's what just society does. So why am I the black sheep? Correct.
Get a loan.
Get a new car.
Yeah, get a new car.
Statistically, mate, when people buy a brand new house, within 6 months they'll buy a brand new car.
Yeah.
And the banks know it, so they'll sell you a car loan when you buy a house.
Upsell you.
So we've conditioned everyone to kind of go, well, look at me, I've kind of made it. I mean, everyone loves Warren Buffett for like financial quotes, but he drives an absolute shitbox, this bloke.
I think he eats Maccas every morning or something.
Right?
Yeah.
I can't spruik that from a dietary point of view, but from a cost-saving point of view, he lives a very frugal lifestyle.
Yeah.
We're talking about one of the richest men in the world.
80 billion or something.
Right. I mean, numbers, it's just irrelevant for this bloke. But he drives a crap car because cars go down in value. Can you imagine if you told someone, no one would think twice about spending $15,000 on a car.
Yeah.
But ask someone to put $15,000 in shares and they'd convince you for all the reasons to not do it.
Yeah, it's risky. It might not happen. Oh.
Right. It might go down in value. It's like, well, the car's always going to go down in value.
Yeah.
The shares
might go
have a good chance of, if you bought really well, they'll have a chance of going up. Yet we're still leaning towards the car. Like, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And who's selling us the dream on the new car? It's the car salesman.
It's years of conditioning. I've seen BMW on billboards, seeing Aston Martin. You got Bond or whatever it is, whatever the marketing is.
There's nothing wrong. I think what we're saying is there's no judgments here. There's nothing wrong with it. But if we're talking about laying good foundations for your own finances, the only person that's going to watch out for your own money is yourself. Everyone else is going to spend your money for you, which is what advertising and marketing is.
And so just to really kind of drill in the car, you paid the car's $30,000.
Yep.
But it's cost you $40,000 over 4 years, which means you've had to pay off the $30,000 for the physical car and an extra $10,000 in interest because you couldn't pay it up front.
Correct.
And then on the flip side, because you've been driving it for 4 years, if you went to sell it, a car that you paid $40,000 for, you want to go sell it, it's probably going to be between 15 and 20 grand, which is a loss of 20 grand in 4 years.
Correct. And you can't really see that money because you've just paid the repayment, so you don't feel like you've missed that $20,000.
And it's been over 45 years.
Correct, but that money's disappeared from your personal balance sheet, call it.
Which is just insane. I guess maybe I've been raised differently, but that seems insane to me.
Oh, it should be insane to everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone should be alarmed at going, why are we borrowing money on something that goes down in value? I think that's where we try to coach a lot of our younger clients is don't borrow for something that goes down in value. Borrow for something that increases in value.
Even if it's not as sexy or as attractive. Yeah.
Boring.
So I always hear people talking about car, and in my head it's like I'm gonna learn from the people who've made the mistakes before me.
Correct.
I feel like I don't need to make it. I've heard enough people have made this mistake. It's clearly a mistake. Don't do it.
Yeah.
But I mean, if people want to do it, sure.
I think some people need to learn. Some people will only learn by making their own mistakes.
Yeah.
And that's fair. I think we all go on our own learning journey. Everyone learns slightly differently. I had to learn the hard way. My parents would constantly be in my ear, why are you driving such an expensive car? But in my mind, I felt like I made it. I look back and I was foolish, but you can't tell a 20-something-year-old that they're wrong, unfortunately, and no judgments, mate. Find out the hard way.
Yeah.